Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd do a quick update here on a few of my orchids that have decided to finally open up their buds and kind of show me what's going on. Plus I have a little surprise, but I thought I'd start out with my apple blossom. If you remember from our previous video, there were just 2 buds on it and it finally did open. So here are the only 2 flowers that it has at this point. I didn't treat this one very well last year, so it doesn't surprise me that it only has 2 flowers. But this is probably one of the easier cattleyas to take care of. I got this to bloom in a north window. Now granted, that north window is unobstructed, meaning it's pretty much full light all day long, but it is north, and I got a cattleya to bloom in it. Actually, I've gotten quite a few cattleyas to bloom in it, but regardless, this is a very easy one. I only water it once a week, fertilize it weekly. I don't flush my plants or anything like that. I just put a very low dose of fertilizer in every single time that I do water. So this one does like light, but it doesn't necessarily need to be bright southern light. It doesn't mind to dry out between waterings, and the fragrance on it is actually pretty decent. It doesn't fill the room, it's not overpowering, but it is nice to your nostrils, if you'll take it that way. I do enjoy this one. It's one of my favorites. I like the smaller cattleya flowers. I'm not a big roughly frilly one, though I do have a few of those. I'd gravitate more towards this size of the cattleya flower. So yeah, there's that one. And then again, you guys have already seen those. Those were in bloom on my last video. So you've seen that, the dendrobium, and then, well, that one's done, that orange cattleya. So now I'll take you over to another one of my plants that while I was moving things around, I found a surprise. Okay, so when I was moving around my Vandas to a new spot for them, I was able to put them all down in my basement actually, which is kind of great. I've got a T5 system down there. But when I moved this one, again, this was in my big north facing window that's completely unobstructed, I found a bloom spike. So that was pretty exciting. Tiny little flowers, as you can see here, no bigger than the size of the end of my finger. But you can see it's going to have, see if I can get it to focus, a bunch of little buds on here. One is open and then a couple of others are getting ready to open. I got this from Moats, and let's see, here's the name, if it will focus. Maybe not. Let's see if we can try this way. That's upside down. Vasco Stylus Pine Rivers, I believe. Anyhow, obviously a fairly easy free-flowing bloomer if it will bloom in a north window. I mist these guys probably 2 to 3 times a day. They get soaked for a half hour, at least twice a week if I can. Sometimes it's only once, but they still seem to do okay. But yeah, that was a nice little surprise, and I'm pretty proud of myself as I've never gotten a Vanda to rebloom, minus that big purple one that I've got. Yeah, that was a complete surprise and made my day. And then another one that decided to open for me is my Dortonopsis Queen Beer. A few of the buds blasted, which is frustrating, but life goes on. But this one opened and it looks like I have one more bud left. Doesn't surprise me. Well, it's a small plant, so I wasn't expecting much out of this one. But regardless, there it is. Probably not the best form of Dortonopsis Queen Beer that I've ever seen, but yeah, it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain. So there's that one, and then of course there's the Gold Digger. It's finally on its way out. The other flowers have already dropped, so it'll probably be time to repot that one, as it's been a couple of years. And now I'll take you to where my Vandas are now. Okay, this is now where I keep all of my Vandas. I have a unfinished basement, and I had this T5 system set up for orchids a few years back, and then I just ended up not using it, and I don't really know why. But I thought, well heck, I've got a bunch of Vandas that need to go somewhere. Let's put them down here. So they are all now down here. I mist them probably 2 to 3 times a day down here. It's fairly humid in my basement, so they seem to be doing okay. I'm getting a lot of good root growth. You can see here on this one, this fat new root coming out, which that of course makes me happy. Some of these kind of struggled back in January and February, so they are recuperating again. But yeah, so this is where their new home is, and everyone seems to be taking it pretty well. Like I said, they get misted a few times a day. I have some fish down here too, so whenever I come down to feed them or clean them, the Vandas get a good soaking. But yeah, so there's where my Vandas are now. So in case you guys are wondering, I did not get rid of them. I still do have them. They're just in a different spot in the house, and hopefully this will do well for me. People say they have good luck with T5 systems, so we'll see if this works for Vandas. If it doesn't, I am going to Florida here in about three weeks or so. If any of them are really struggling, I'll just take them with me and I'll give them to my cousin, and she can keep them down there. And if and when, which is hopefully soon, we move there, I will just take them back. So anyhow, yeah, just a quick update, guys. I appreciate you coming and stopping and watching my videos. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions for later videos, go ahead and leave that in the comments. As always, appreciate it, guys. Have a great afternoon.